Listen, when it comes to the Bucks and Omega, look, man, things will eventually get smoothed out. I can't ever see those guys leaving AEW. Those guys have a lot of power there. Those guys wouldn't have that same power if they were in WWF. I can't ever see those guys leaving. And plus, dog, Cody Rhodes does not want the Bucks and Omega in the WWF. Like, why? Those three guys are the reason he's gone from AEW. So why the hell would he want those guys to join him when it comes to the WWF? Those guys are not friends. They don't like each other. Get that through your thick ass skull. Cody Rhodes does not want those guys in his company. He's doing just fine. Okay? Wake the hell up. Tony Khan has made his bed. Now he has to lie in it. He chose not to resign Cody Rhodes because he was cocky. He felt like, oh, I got Adam Coleslaw. I got Jericho. I got Junk. I got Brian. I got Jericho. I don't need Cody Rhodes. Okay, now look where AEW is at now. You think Cody Rhodes wants Omega and the Bucks in his company? Dog, his last year in AEW, they were not on speaking terms. So why the hell would he want them to be in his company right now? Huh? Come on, man. So, when it came to that CM Junk press conference, right? There was something that I missed that was very, very glaring that some people actually missed him talking about. I can't believe I missed him talking about the fact that he said, I'm trying to run a business here. What the hell did he mean by that? It's like there's certain guys that are like, man, this dude is a natural born egomaniac. Imagine a regular wrestler on the roster saying he's trying to run a business. It's like, what business are you talking about? This business is not your business. You are a part of the business, but you don't run it. The guy who was next to you runs the business. See, CM Junk is a natural born egomaniac. Just imagine he would have said this crap if he was sitting next to Triple H. Do you think he would say this crap if he was sitting next to Stephanie McMahon? Would he say this crap if that was Vince McMahon right next to him? The fact that he has zero respect for Tony Khan, that is very apparent. The fact that he let his ego get the better of him, the fact that he would say, I'm trying to run a business. So basically he's saying that he's such a big name, he takes full responsibility for AEW when it comes to the business. So he thinks he is AEW. That's the point I'm trying to get at. CM Junk thinks he is AEW. This dude being here 1 year, he already thinks he's more important than the EVPs based on his name value. It's crazy. Why is he such a big name? Because on paper, CM Junk, next to Kenny Omega, he might be the most overrated wrestler of all time based on his resume. What makes him such a big time star? I don't get it. I'm trying to figure that out. He's not a bigger star than Daniel Bryan. He's not a bigger star than Dave Bautista. He's not a bigger star than Chris Jericho. I'm trying to figure out what makes him such a big time star. Tons of people always tell me he's a big star. Okay, why? Can you tell me why? I'm trying to figure that out my damn self. How was he such a big time star if he never main evented WrestleMania? See what I'm saying? How? That's what separates the men from the boys. That's what separates the mid-carders from the main eventers. Have you main evented WrestleMania while you was there? No. So how are you a big time star? See, I'm a student of this game, man. I am a wrestling historian. WrestleMania, that's the end all be all, bruh. No mid-carders allowed in the main events. Good Lord, man. Do you remember Daniel Bryan beating Batista and Randy Orton? That made him a superstar. That made him a main eventer and no longer a goddamn mid-carder. On paper, CM Junk is a mid-carder. Okay, he was always in the mid-card at WrestleMania. So yes, he ain't no damn star. He became a star based on controversy. Don't that sound familiar? It's like, to me, he's not famous. He's infamous, but not famous. That little cringe pipe bomb, that made him infamous, not famous. Everything that's going on right now is making him more infamous and not famous. That's what made CM Junk what he is today. Not fame. He is a definition of freaking infamy. Because his last year, his last year in the WWF, he was in the mid card, right? The guy got fired on his wedding day, as should have, because that's what he gets. But his last year, dog, he was a damn mid carder. He was in a freaking mid card. What made him more infamous was that damn podcast interview with Colt Cabana. The fact that he was burying everybody. Hell, times hasn't changed. Obviously. This dude went off on a Colt Cabana podcast damn near 8 years, 9 years later. He goes off and has a similar tirade, similar to his podcast interview with Colt Cabana. This dude has not changed. He buries all the big time names on the damn roster, similar to what he did on that Colt Cabana podcast. This dude has not changed. And that interview kind of threw Colt Cabana's name under the goddamn bus, right? Because he had to stand there and listen to this weirdo talk all this crap about Reigns, Triple H, Vince, all the damn doctors. Blame deflecting. Years later, he does the exact same thing, throws people under the bus, and not taking full responsibility. You can talk all the crap you want about Colt Cabana, but at the end of the day, you cost that man some money. If you would have kept your mouth shut, maybe you two would still be friends. If you wouldn't have went off on his podcast, dog, it was your fault. He got sued. Dude, it's like, you made your bed. You gotta lie in it. Colt Cabana did not tell you to mention the damn doctor, to throw Triple H, Roman Reigns, Vince under the goddamn bus. Colt did not tell you to do that. He did not tell you to go shoot that hard. That was your fault. You cost your friend your their friendship. It was your fault. Nobody told you to go off like that. Same thing years later. Nobody told you to go off at that damn media scrum. You made Tony Khan look bad. You made him look like a pushover. The fact that Tony Khan was sitting there awkward, embarrassed. He didn't know what to say. Because here you were burying his business partners, which makes him look bad. You was burying his pillars, which is Adam Page. Tony Khan loves Adam Page. So the fact that he was standing there, he had to take it. Dude, Tony Khan said the best AEW world champion of all time was Adam Page. So the fact that you buried him right in front of his boss, that made Tony Khan look bad because Tony Khan didn't know what to say. So there's a pattern here. You put people in awkward positions. Seriously. You put people in awkward positions because now it feels like Colt Cabana, he would never get hired by the WWF because of you. Come on, man. You never know. Maybe Colt Cabana could have been a backstage agent or coach, something, but you cost him a job there. See, it's like this dude is a weirdo, a weird guy. I had some moron tell me that CM Junk, yes, I said CM Junk. I was one who made the name CM Junk. So when you go on Twitter, I'm the guy who started the name CM Junk. I created the name CM Junk. But I had some moron tell me, at least CM Junk is a better wrestler than Kenny Omega in the Bucks. I'm like, wow, man. How about you take his penis out your mouth? What matches are you looking at there? I'm not saying. You can make the argument that CM Junk is the worst wrestler on that roster talent-wise. Like right now as we speak. I'm not talking about 10 years ago. I'm talking about now. In the year of 2022, he's the worst on the roster. He has awful matches. He botches all the time. He has the ugliest springboards. Every time he does a goddamn springboard, I always think he's gonna botch it. All his moves look botched. He can't do a headlock. He can't do a suplex. He takes awful bumps. He has lost a step. Okay, I don't care if maybe CM Junk is a better talker than the Bucks or Mega. That's not what we're talking about. You say he's a better wrestler right now? Dog. Kenny Omega, he's still not 100%. Guess what? A Omega that's 50% is better than Junk. Whatever you want to call his ass. He sucks. He's not a good professional wrestler. Not right now at his age. He's the worst. His best matches might have been against MJF. Other than that, all his other matches were botched and ugly as hell. He is an awful wrestler. Awful. Are you high to think that? On what planet? Like, dog, stop being brainwashed by Jim Cornette. He's a fanboy. Okay? Don't take him seriously. He's a goddamn fanboy. He ain't better than no damn Kenny Omega. Dog, that's what. Look. I'm not a fan of Kenny Omega. I'm not a fan of the Bucks. But guess what, bitch? I am objective. I don't hate just to hate. I go by facts and evidence. Facts and evidence says he is not a better professional wrestler in the ring once that bell ring than Omega in the goddamn Bucks. I'm not saying I'm a fan of it. I'm not saying I'm a fan. I'm going by facts and evidence. I'm going by the eye test. The eye test tells me CM Junk is an awful wrestler. He's not better than Billy Gunn. He ain't better than Jay O'Brien, Jericho. He's not better than freaking Christian Cage. Do you know why I brought those names up? because those guys are over 40 years old. And they can out-wrestle CM Punk any day of the week. Let that sink in. Billy Gunn, damn near what? I think he's like late 50s. He can out-wrestle CM Punk at his age right now. He's the worst on the roster. CM Punk is the worst on the roster. He has awful, ugly matches. And the fact that he's taking credit for drawing millions of dollars. He's taking credit for drawing big-time houses. He's taking credit for that. So that is a huge spit in the face to Jericho, Daniel Bryan. And now you wonder why we haven't seen a match between Jericho and CM Punk. You wonder now, huh? You wonder why, how come these guys haven't shared a damn ring together yet? Punk, he's a face. Jericho is a heel. You figure these guys have never shared a ring together. You know why? Jericho doesn't like him. Jericho is not ready to share a ring with CM Punk. He's not ready. He does not like him. You would think that is a good feud, Jericho and CM Punk. But no, Jericho is not ready to face CM Punk. Look, man, if Cody Rhodes was still there, this wouldn't be happening. If you watched Rhodes to the Top, he was the leader of that locker room. Him and his wife, they were the leaders of that locker room. All the young guys used to ask Cody for advice. He was the Triple H of that locker room. Brady Rhodes was the Stephanie McMahon of that locker room. She showed leadership. Here's why all the women on that roster, they said that Cody was their leader. They always asked him for advice. Watch Rhodes to the Top. Watch every episode. He was the leader of that locker room. Him and Brandy, they always kept things in order. Now they're gone. That locker room is a mess because CM Punk is an awful leader. Awful leader. But look, man, CM Punk is an awful person. And he knows how to pick his battles. Now, I heard that this moron got into a fight with the Bucks. I heard this guy tried to take a swing at the Bucks. All right, smart. That was very, very smart because he chose somebody his own size, right? He didn't touch Omega. Now, look, man, let me tell you a fun fact about Kenny Omega. Omega would beat the shit out of CM Punk. That's not even an argument. I don't care if you are a fanboy of CM Punk. Omega would beat the shit out of CM Punk in a real fight. Are you serious? He would destroy him. That's why CM Punk didn't touch Omega. That's why he punched the Bucks. He ain't punched Omega. Omega will whoop his ass. And here's why. Omega used to be a MMA fighter before he became a pro wrestler. Let me say that once again. He used to be a MMA fighter. And he has a better record than CM Punk. And yes, that was a real shoot record. Because he used his real name, which is Tyson Smith. Look it up. Look up Tyson Smith. He has a pretty decent record in mixed martial arts. And he fought Dan Severn. Let me say that once again. Omega fought Dan Severn in a mixed martial arts match. Can you imagine what Dan Severn would do to CM Junk in a mixed martial arts match? And the fact that look, I heard that Mega actually held his own against Dan Severn. That's what I heard. I heard he actually held his own against Dan Severn. So Omega is not a pushover. Omega would really beat up CM Junk, and CM Junk knows that. That's why CM Junk didn't go after him. Very smart. Very smart. But Junk, I can't believe he said he's trying to run a business. I can't believe he let that slip out. That egomaniac. You see, this is why there's tons of people that want to leave that company. The fact that he's saying crazy egomaniac stuff like that. You're trying to run a business. What business? What? The brand of Sam Junk? What business? Right? So now he thinks he is AEW. That's crazy, man. But when it comes to Sammy G should be embarrassed. I watched that clip. I can't believe he dropped Ruby Soho on her head like that. Dog, that's a female. That is not a guy. That's a female. And you dropped her on her head like that? Dog. That's not heel heat. That's awful heat. That's the kind of heat that would get you buried in the WWF. That's that heat that would get you released. Okay, that's not good heat. That's bad. Dog, you dropped a woman on her head. You may have broken a woman's neck. More people should be talking about this, dog. He almost broke a woman's neck by dropping her on her head. That was sloppy work. That was sloppy stuff, dog. You lucky you were under Tony. You were lucky you were under Tony Khan's watch. Because Triple H would have yelled at you backstage, your dog. Vince would have yelled. Bruce Pritchard would have yelled at you. Do you remember what Perry Saturn did to Mike Bell? I heard that Bruce Pritchard, I heard he yelled at Perry Saturn backstage. He yelled at him. Just imagine what Triple H would have said to Sammy G if he would have dropped Becky Lynch on her head like that. Like, wow, that was sloppy work. That was sloppy. That's indie stuff. That's indie stuff. I can't believe he did that. And nobody is talking about. People want to talk about CM Junk more than Sammy G, but I'm like, bro, you gotta pump. I can't believe he dropped Russo on her head. Like, dog, you a dude. And it was so careless. Like, bro, you gotta protect your opponent, especially a woman. That was embarrassing. That was cringe. That was embarrassing, man. Dog, if that was me, I would have fired him. I'm sorry. I would have fired him. You serious? You dropped a woman on her neck carelessly, like you ain't give a damn, just to get real heel heat? Nah, bruh, that is a fireable offense. See, I'm very old school. You don't do that to a woman in a wrestling ring without taking care of her. You gotta take care of women, especially women. Do you remember Mae Young and Bubba Ray? His main goal was to protect Mae Young every time he put her through a table. That was his main goal. Protect Mae Young. Because she's a woman. Yo ass just dropped a woman on her neck like that. Like like she was a sack of shit. Dog, you a dude, man. You gotta protect your opponent, especially a woman. Dog, man, AEW is embarrassing. Dog, if Cody Rhodes was still there, he would have yelled at Sammy G. He would have yelled at him. Brandy would have yelled at that dude. See, Tony Khan has no control over that locker room. That locker room is the Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. Wild Wild West. That locker room is the Wild Wild West, man. And it's all CM Junk's fault. He is so selfish. The most selfish asshole of all time. I'm done.